So next question, in response to one of the reels on our last episode, which talked about how police, fire, and public works together on public safety, we got this question. What about the homeless issue close all through Calimesa Boulevard by the Staters and little by little coming into the community? I'm reading that verbatim. Let's start with a little perspective. Compared to many cities across Southern California and even nearby neighboring communities, Calimesa's homeless situation is actually quite limited. We're fortunate that we don't have the same large encampments or systemic challenges you might see in other areas, but that doesn't mean we ignore it. It means that our scale allows us to address individual situations quickly and personally. Often, what's being seen near commercial areas like Stater Brothers involves one or two individuals, not a growing population or encampment. And the city does actively respond when these situations come up. Our sheriff's contract includes a dedicated problem-oriented policing officer or POP officer, and this is on top of that 24/7 deputy we always hear about. We always hear about how we only have one deputy, and this position, though, is on top of that. So that's not necessarily true that we only have one deputy. We actually have an additional deputy that is our POP officer, and he handles exactly these kinds of community issues. The POP officer works closely with outreach teams and local service providers to connect people in need with housing, medical care, or mental health services when possible. So the goal isn't just enforcement, it's resolution and compassion. And at the same time, when behavior or activity crosses into trespassing or vandalism or public safety concerns, our officers address it appropriately and promptly. It's also important to understand that homelessness isn't just a Calimesa issue, it's a statewide challenge. And even though it feels close to home when we see someone struggling in a visible area, the causes, from housing costs to addiction to mental health gaps, are much bigger than any one city. So what makes Calimesa unique is that we can stay ahead of it. We know our community, our deputies are proactive, and our residents care enough to notice and reach out early before something grows into a larger problem. So yes, we've seen a few individuals around Calimesa Boulevard, and our team is aware and addressing it. But it's also important not to assume that we're facing a growing homeless issue where a small community and small numbers stand out. If you ever see something that concerns you, don't hesitate to let us know. If it's an emergency situation, like an active crime in process, please call 911. Otherwise, you can call the Sheriff's Department's non-emergency dispatch line at 1-800-950-2444. But also remember, behind every situation like this, there's usually a person in need, not just a problem to remove. And that balance of care and accountability is what makes Calimesa the kind of community we're all proud to call home.